Hello, I'm Bernie Hayes. Today we'll be talking with Dr. Ronald Gregory of the new Millennium Group and the partnership he's having with Harris-Stowe State University. All that today on The Bernie Hayes Show. And welcome back. Like I told you, my guest is Dr. Ron Gregory. Dr. Gregory, how you doing?
I'm doing fine, Bernie. It's a new year, and things are really looking up.
That's great. I understand you're doing your annual thing about Valentine's Day at Harris-Stowe State University this year, again.
Yeah, a few years ago we had a concert, and it was called the Three Divas, honoring three of America's top female vocalists.
Mm-hmm.
And we did it on Valentine's Day. And it was a great show, but somebody came up to me and said, Ron, why wasn't there any men on the show? So we rethought the idea, and this year the show is called Three Divas and a Dude.
Three divas and a dude.
Yeah.
Not three divas and a devil, three divas and a dude.
Three divas and a dude. And it'll be three premier female singers in St. Louis.
Mm-hmm.
And we've added one male singer to set the tone, since it's Valentine's Day and the ladies and the men will be there. Mm-hmm. And we think it's going to be a great show.
Now, the Valentine's thing that you do is about you give out roses and candy on this particular.
Yeah, we got a small box of candy and a small rose that's actually attached to the box.
Mm-hmm.
The last time we were just giving it out to the females, but then the males complained and said, hey, Valentine's Day is a day for both men and women. So this year we're giving the candy out to both men and women. And everybody who will attend the show will be given a box of...
Where will it be held?
I didn't hear.
It's going to be held at Harris-Stowe, right?
Yes, and it's going to be held at Harris-Stowe, the only black university that's part of the HBC network in the city of St. Louis.
Yeah.
It's going to be there. And the proceeds from the event will benefit various programs at Harris-Stowe and some local charities and things
Mm-hmm.
that we're...
I understand it's going to benefit some of the students with their housing at Harris-Stowe.
Yes.
And scholarships, yeah.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. That's great.
We look forward to a big crowd. It's going to be a great show, and we like to make sure it's reasonably priced so everybody can feel that they can afford it.
This is February the 14th, actually on Valentine's Day.
We're doing it on Valentine's Day. We're not doing it the day before. We're not doing it the day after. Each people want something to do that day. And
it's from 6 to 10 that night?
6 to 10. Doors open at 6 and the show takes off, and by 10 o'clock it's over with. And we feel it's going to be a great show, and we're going to have, we're looking forward to some great times.
How'd you come up with this tradition, Dr. Gregory?
Some years ago, before we even started the concert, we realized that there were quite a few females in the city that we knew who had lost their spouses, and some males who had lost their spouses. And they had ceased enjoying Valentine's Day. So we started a little party together, and we would bring folks together and enjoy ourselves. And it went from this little party that we had to the concert, because we feel like, hey, you know, just because you're single, that don't mean you have to sit at home and watch TV or what have you on Valentine's Day. Just come out and enjoy yourself. And that's how it started. And it went from this little private party, and it got a little bigger, and we decided to set it up as a concert.
Now, I know there's going to be 3 premier female singers, and you said one male singer. Are there any comedians are going to be in the show this year?
In between each act, we have 2 up-and-coming comics in the city of St. Louis who will be performing in between the acts. And he's some individuals that are pretty popular around the city of St. Louis.
You also, when you do comedy acts known as Dr. Needs, will you be participating as a comedian or just as a promoter?
Yes, I will. I will be on the show as a comic. And like you said, my stage name is Dr. Needs. I don't use the Gregory name because, you know, that Gregory County is a hard act to follow. So he used the name Dr. Needs.
Yeah. Well, you know, you're a graduate of Notre Dame, right?
Yes, I was a high school athlete in St. Louis from 1953 to 1957. I followed in my brother Dick's footsteps, who was a premier high school athlete, and I started running for Sumner High School, and by the time I graduated in 1957, I was 3 times state mile champion, 3 times state cross country champion, and ended up with a 4-year scholarship to the University of Notre Dame. And I went there and set quite a few records and graduated and came back to St. Louis and took my place in the school system, and I've been busy ever since.
When you first went to Notre Dame, Dr. Gregory, were there many African Americans there?
The enrollment at Notre Dame was 5,000 at the time I was there, and the African American enrollment, well, if you're talking about 1957, I think we should say Negro enrollment.
Yeah, sure.
There were 20 Negro students at Notre Dame, 12 undergraduate, 8 graduate students, and of the 12 undergraduate students, 6 of us were on athletic scholarship.
Wow, okay. Yeah. So things have really changed.
Oh, gee, man. Probably on the football team at Notre Dame, you probably have 35 or 40 African Americans on the team now.
Yeah. But I noticed that also that you wear a lot of Notre Dame memorabilia, your caps, jackets, sweaters, and so forth. So you must be very proud to attend that school.
We are. We're a lively bunch, you know. We go back to the school quite often. We make contributions to the alumni fund, and we encourage a lot of kids to, if they can, to go to the campus, look at it, and possibly enroll.
Tell us about the New Millennium Group. What is the New Millennium Group that you'll be partnering with?
The New Millennium Group started in 2000, year 2000, as it was part of a travel agency. We did online traveling and things. And then we began to have people contacting us about being part of organizations that they were doing, and we got involved with fundraising. So, and also one of the components is health seminars. And as we moved along, we got completely away from the online travel and basically concentrated on concerts and health seminars. And we have people who come in and give talks on health and also on African American affairs, the history of African American, things like that. So we've been quite busy over the years with the organization.
I noticed that this this next concert that you're having on February 14th is you're partnering with the National Black Radio Hall of Fame and the Wolff Jazz Institute at Harris-Stowe. Is that right?
Yes, because I'm involved with both of those groups. And usually what we do as far as fundraisers is concerned, when the New Millennium Group decides to co-sponsor some event or sponsor some event, we tied into different organizations that we associated with. And
That's great.
one of the organizations I'm associated with is a senior citizen group called Southside Wellness,
Right.
ran by a lady who's nationally known lady by the name of Ollie Stewart. And
Holly Mae Stewart, yes.
she's a big supporter of our organization.
Dr. Ron Gregory is my guest, and we're here at the New Life Evangelistic Center. We're formerly at 1411 Locust Street, but downtown St. Louis. And Reverend Larry Rice has been trying to reopen that facility as a big place for people to come in and wash their clothes and clean up and hygienic and everything. So we'll talk about that. He's been doing it for more than 50 years. We're here at 2428 Woodson Road in Overland, Missouri, 63114. Back with Dr. Ron Gregory after this.
Will you help New Life Evangelistic Center get back into 1411 Locust Street? Your tax-deductible gifts are urgently needed at this particular time, and there's many different ways that we're working to get back in that facility. One of the ways is to continue to inform the community through the Bernie Hayes Show and other programs. And if you haven't supported the Bernie Hayes Show and the work of New Life Evangelistic Center, please do it now. It's urgently needed. Your gifts are deeply appreciated. So many homeless people are waiting to get back into 1411 Locust, and so many others need the direct help that New Life is trying to provide at this time, but is facing some real financial needs, and that's why your gift is very, very important. And to express our thankfulness for all of you that are sharing your gifts, we want to send you this special Bernie Hayes cup. It's my wife's favorite drinking cup. She loves to drink out of this cup, and this is actually the only coffee cup she wants to use is the Bernie Hayes cup. There's something very special about this cup, and we'll send it to each one of you that share a gift of $25 or more with the New Life Evangelistic Center and ask for your Bernie Hayes cup. It's P.O. Box 473, St. Louis, Missouri, that's 63166. Your gift will not only help us get back into the 1411 Locust building, but will help our first responders that are on the streets, the first responders that we have out there day after day, night after night. It will help keep our women and children in our safe houses, continue to keep our training programs open, our worldwide mission work, whether it's in India, Haiti, Africa, so many different things the New Life Evangelistic Center is doing. In addition to NLEC TV, tell your family and friends about it. Put it on your phone. Put on your get that phone app on all your friends' phones so that they can all see the Bernie Hayes Show or go to 24.2. It's your prayers and gifts that make all of this possible. I thank God for those of you who continue to pray for the reopening of 1411 Locust and the work of New Life Evangelistic Center. There's so many obstacles we're facing as we try to help the homeless, but we're going to continue to give it to God. We're going to continue to pray. We're going to continue to work, but we need you to partner with us. So again, it's New Life Evangelistic Center, P.O. Box 473, St. Louis, Missouri, that's 63166. I thank God for each one of you that are praying, caring, and sharing.
Welcome back. I'm Bernie Hayes. My guest is Dr. Ron Gregory. We're talking about the Valentine's program coming up February the 14th, Valentine's Day in 2023. Dr. Gregory, the Valentine's, the thought itself is that of love. And will that be the theme of the show this year? What is the theme?
Oh, yes. You know, Valentine's Day is the day of hearts and flowers and candy. And it's really important this year because for the past 2 or 3 years, we've been under a entertainment shutdown, and COVID has, had people, hibernating in their houses and things like that. And now the doors are beginning to open, and we're trying to get the people back into that joyous feeling of Valentine's Day and programs. So we're planning a good program. We're saying Hearts and Flowers for Lovers.
Mm-hmm. I say the background has changed here at the Henry Gibbons Auditorium, Henry Gibbons State University campus of Harris-Stowe State University. And that's a beautiful background that you're under. You've done quite a few things at Harris-Stowe, have you not?
Oh, yeah. We've been involved with Harris-Stowe for a long time. Matter of fact, when I was a youngster, before the two schools went together, Stowe Teachers College was right across the street from Sumner High School where I went, and it had a bearing on me wanting to go to college because, we high school students would come out in the evening time and we'd see the college students at Stowe. And it made an impression on us because these guys and girls really look professional and good. So it was our chance to say, hey, you know, I want to be like them. And now, when, you know, the two schools went together back in fall of 1954, and Dr. Gibbons, who became the president that really had the school growing, he and Dick, my brother Dick, were in school together, real good friends. So it feels good to be a part of a program that benefits something that has always been part of the history of the black experience in St. Louis.
I know it once was Harris-Stowe State College, and because of Senator Jet Banks and some others in the state legislature and in the city of St. Louis, upgraded it to a university. That makes a big difference, does it not?
Oh, great. And then the fact that it went from like a single building to a campus where it has dorms and things like that, and drawing students from all over the country to become part of this experience. And I just think it's really great to be a part of this.
Although you went to Sumner High School, the current facility, the current home of Harris-Stowe State University, is a form of a Shawn High School, I understand.
Saturday, oh yeah. The
3026 Laclede.
Yeah, that was one of the three African American schools in St. Louis, and it was converted in the early 60s, where it moved from the campus over there on Union and Enright to this facility. And it allowed itself to grow and also become part of the business industry in St. Louis, and it really helped for that school to grow the way it is now. Like I said, now it's a beautiful campus, really nice.
And I understand there's a lot of history that you have here in St. Louis, that the track at Sumner High School, the running track at Sumner High School, is named after whom?
The new track that they put around the Candy field is named in honor of the Gregory brothers. My oldest brother, Press, who was the first runner, a distant runner. Then Dick came along after him and set all kinds of records. And then I came after Dick and just went crazy running because of the Gregory history of track. And now the running track around the football field is called the Gregory Brothers track in honor of Press, Dick, and I.
Well, the track team, I understand, were segregated. The schools were segregated at the time and doing track meets and everything else. Tell us about that history.
Yeah, what happened, the St. Louis public school system had a public high school league, athletic league, and it was really crazy because there were 11 public high schools, but only the 3 white schools belonged to the league, and the 3 black schools, they were kind of left out to fend themselves. And later on, the group, when the schools integrated in '54, they all merged. But the black schools were struggling to get publicity because in their sports, the press and everything would cover the sports of the white schools, but they wouldn't cover the sports of the 3 black schools. And Dick got behind the movement and pressured them, and they came out and started covering the event, and that's how people across the country began to realize, what a great athlete he was. And as a result of his pushing, I got covered when I was running, and became nationally known as a high school athlete.
Also, you taught in the St. Louis public schools, did you not?
Yeah, I taught for I started for 7 years, and then I left the system and was working with the anti-poverty program and Job Corps and youth agency. And then I came back in the late 90s and taught for 5 more years before I retired.
Well, were you coaching at all?
I coached cross country at Soldan. I coached distance running at Soldan for 4 years, and became quite attached to a bunch of the guys that run. And now we kind of hang out together because those guys, I'm in my 80s and they in their 70s, so we all get together and laugh and talk. And they tell stories about the days when I was coaching them and things like that.
Well, you're so modest, man. Nobody would know unless I ask you about that coaching career and your teaching career in the St. Louis Public Schools. My guest is Ron Gregory, Dr. Ron Gregory. He's a graduate of Notre Dame University and Sumner High School here in St. Louis. And he's having a very important Valentine's Day show, February the 14th, 2023, at Harris-Stowe State University. And we'll be back to talk to Dr. Gregory after this.
Around the world, inflation is rising at a historic rate. We are struggling, and we're sure you are too. During this time, it reminds me of the early church in Macedonia. Paul describes how these churches were severely afflicted in 2 Corinthians chapter 8. Verse 1, he says, "We want you to know, brothers, about the grace of God that has been given among the churches of Macedonia. For in a severe test of affliction, their abundance of joy and their extreme poverty have overflowed in a wealth of generosity on their part." It's verse 1 and 2 of chapter 8 in 2 Corinthians. This church was experiencing massive affliction. And not only that, they were incredibly impoverished. And yet God graciously gave them far more that they could ever have because they wanted to serve the church in Jerusalem. Right now, you have an opportunity to get involved in the work of New Life Evangelistic Center, to heal the hearts of broken people on the streets of St. Louis and throughout Missouri. You can make a big difference today. We know that things are really tough right now. We know that everyone is struggling. And yet, by God's grace, by His lavish goodness, you can be a part of making difference today. Please consider to give to New Life.
Today's subject, Mr. Richard Dick Gregory, an American comedian, civil rights activist, social critic, writer, entrepreneur, and actor, born October the 12th, 1932 here in St. Louis, Missouri. Known for the movies Hot Chick in 2002, ABC Stage 67 in 1966, and Reno in 9/11, that is, in 2003. Dick Gregory, the parodic satirist who transformed cool humor into a barbed force of civil rights in the 1960s, then veered from his craft for a life devoted to protest, that is, and fasting in the name of assorted social causes and health regimens. During the turbulent 1960s, Gregory became a pioneer in stand-up comedy, but for his no-holds-barred sets in which he mocked bigotry and racism. He was married to Lillian Gregory. Dick Gregory passed away August 19, 2017, Sibley Memorial Hospital in Washington, D.C. Dick Gregory.
Hello, I'm Larry Rice, and I'm inviting you to join me daily on the New Life Facebook page. Something new, something exciting every day. So go to facebook.com/NewLifeSTL and discover what's happening on a daily basis as New Life Evangelistic Center begins to share with you a wide variety of subjects.
And welcome back. My guest is Dr. Ron Gregory. We're talking about a show he's having February the 14th on Valentine's Day at Harris-Stowe State University. Dr. Gregory, welcome back.
Thank you, Bernie.
How can we reach you and get information about tickets and so forth?
I can be reached at the new Millennium Group at phone numbers area 314-361-7793 or through our website, which is RLG from nd61@yahoo.com. And tickets will be available, and also they can contact the university for tickets. But we're looking for a sellout crowd, and we think it will be a tremendous show.
Okay, now you've been married for 61 years to Joanne, Gregory. Tell us what Valentine's mean to you, the two of you.
Hey, man, it's always great. And let me tell you, I didn't realize that when I went from just celebrating Valentine's Day with the two of us to expanding it to that early party to the point now where it's the concert just makes it just fantastic because now we celebrate Valentine's with, 800 or 900 people. And it's really a great event. And, working with you with programs like that has been fantastic. A lot of people don't know the story of how we met. And my first roommate at Notre Dame was a former high school student in Chicago
Right.
at the Wendell Phillips High School, a guy by the name of Booker Rice. And the two of you all were schoolmates.
And neighbors.
And yeah, well,
Neighbors and schoolmates, yeah.
And,
on the Phillips.
I remember going back. I got out of school, got married in 1961, and I came back to Chicago the Christmas of 1961, and came in contact with Booker, and he invited me to a Christmas holiday function. And when I got there, he introduced me to you. And by that time, you knew as much about my brother Dick and him being a comic, and we just hit it off. And then a few years later, you came to St. Louis, and it's been history ever since.
It's been a long time. Wonderful years. Have anyone who attended some of the previous Valentine's shows that you've given to the new Millennium Group and Harris-Stowe State University said they met someone, or if this was special, very special to them or anything?
Oh yeah. They talk about it. Matter of fact, they've been getting on me about not having a few more shows, and it had to do with the COVID. But they're standing in line, getting ready for the program, and they really got on us and talked about how nice it was. And they were the ones that got on us. They say, "Hey, throw a man in that program." We the ladies are singing the beautiful love songs, but we want to hear a dude coming in and kind of sing some of the blues. So we added that to it. That's why it's called Three Divas and a Dude this year.
Three Divas and a Dude. Once again, how can we reach you and get more information about the program?
Yeah, the phone number at the new Millennium Group is area code 314-361-7793, or the website is RLG, and the word from, FROMND61
Okay, that's the email address too, right?
That's the email address, right?
Right, okay.
Right.
Ron Gregory, it's always a pleasure to see you and always a pleasure to be with you. And came up with the concept was for charity, for
Right.
for February the 14th to sponsor this wonderful program is really great. We've been doing it for years, and people have gotten used to it. It was called Three Divas and a Dude. And it's going to be February the 14th
Right.
at Harris-Stowe State University. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Appreciate you, buddy. All right.
Always. And I want to thank each and every one of you also for supporting the New Life Evangelistic Center. Reverend Larry Rice has been supporting you for years. And listen, Reverend Rice don't just feed people at Christmas. Just feed people at New Year's, feed people at Thanksgiving. He feeds people every day, and gives them clothes and warmth and help them in every way that he possibly can. It's your turn now to support the New Life Evangelistic Center. We're 2428 Woodson Road, Overland, Missouri, 63114. I am Bernie Hayes. It's just a pleasure to see you, pleasure to talk with you, pleasure to have you support us, and we're going to certainly continue to support you. Have a great day. Until next time, please stay safe.